A very good evening from the Tamandaya Hockey Stadium in Johor Bahru. It's match 2 on day 1 of the 2022 Sultan of Johor Cup. We're back after 3 years thanks to the COVID pandemic, and we've already seen one game today where Australia were victorious over Japan by 3-2. Next up, as you will probably be aware, is Great Britain versus the Republic of South Africa. And Great Britain are the defending champions. They've won this tournament 3 times, which is more than anybody else. South Africa making their debut here in Johor Bahru. Well, we turn our attention to the GB team. And there are a few, we've got one Irishman in Max Anderson and Jamie Golden, who played in that victorious team wearing number 11 for GB, represents Scotland and played at the Commonwealth Games. Also, Fraser High is another Scotsman in the side, but they've got plenty of talent in their lineup, and Harrison Stone is one of the young players to look out for in their team. If we turn our attention to South Africa again, a very young side who've not really been given too many opportunities outside of South Africa. So this is going to be a real test for them. And just to see where they're at, talking to their coach in the hotel, he said this is where they're really going to find out what players can do. And Sihile Ngumbani is their captain, wearing the number 5. He's one of the key players for them. And they've got some really talented players coming through. Damien Knott, wearing number 11, is the son of a former South African player. And also look out for number 21, Fawaz Kada, who is a player who, again, has big raps coming into this tournament. Well, the players will be coming out shortly. The umpires are just getting ready down below us. I'm Ashley Morrison, looking forward to sharing the action in this game and obviously others throughout the tournament in the week. And also we have one fixture coming up later today. Would like to just acknowledge our sponsors who've made it possible for us to bring you this live coverage, and we ask you to support them or recommend them wherever you can. And one of those is Grand Work Interior, multiple award-winning custom interior fittings firm with a presence in Australia, Japan, Malaysia, Indonesia, Taiwan, Thailand, the Philippines and Vietnam. And then we have Ong & Ong, a design and management and engineering company which offer 360-degree solutions. So just contact Ong & Ong. And the final one is Project Innovations Private Limited, a project management company located and working in Asia, but with experience way beyond those Asian confines. And of course, Griffin, a supplier to hockey for a long time and been making an impact since 1983. Thank them for their support, and we hope that wherever possible, as they're supporting hockey and you're watching hockey, you'll recommend them or at least support them. Now, the teams have pretty much made their way out to the centre circle, and once they're in position, we will then be able to have the national anthems. And I know there was a little bit of confusion this morning because they found a national anthem that had the words "God Save the Queen." And so I think they may well be playing just an instrumental, because obviously it is now God Save the King for Great Britain. But we will see what happens. But there was a little bit of scrambling around this morning just to try and sort that one out. One of those little details that sometimes people forget until that very moment it's needed. So the umpires for this game, well, I will tell you them after we've had the national anthems, I think would be best, because very soon we will be having the national anthem of Great Britain. That will be the first one, and then it will be followed by the South African national anthem as well. So we will pause now for the national anthem of Great Britain. And now we'll have the national anthem of the Republic of South Africa. Well, the national anthem's now completed, and it is time for us to get on to the action. As I mentioned, I will let you know who the umpires are now, and Jaden Pearson is the man with the beard. He is making his international debut, hails from Tasmania, where he was actually a goalkeeper for the Tasmanian side when they won the Australian Hockey League. Tristan Clemens was the other goalkeeper back then, playing for Tasmania when they won it for the first time ever. And joining him is Ahmad Birhamidin from Malaysia, who hails from Sarawak. And a great moment for Jaden Pearson, and I know that all in Tasmania will be cheering him on and very proud of his achievement to get on to the international umpiring circuit. And let's hope he has a cracking game and also a great tournament. Now, Great Britain, all the pressure, you'd have to say, is on them in this tournament. They're the defending champions. They're the team everyone wants to beat. And, of course, the question is, can they go back-to-back? Well, they won in 2018. They won in 2019 in one of the most dramatic fashions ever. If you haven't watched it, I recommend you go back and watch that game because it was an absolute cracker. South Africa, well, they are the unknown quantity here. All these players having had to find a lot of the money to get here. Talking to their coach, he was saying, Guy Elliott, that he's actually had to put money in to help the team and is not getting paid while he's here. So South Africa, really, they're doing it for the love, and these people are really, really dedicated to play for South Africa. There's plenty of talent there. They just need the support to be able to get together every now and again and be able to train together. Great to see them here, though, and let's hope they can do their nation proud. So game 2 about to get underway very shortly. Great Britain in the red, South Africa in the white, gold and green. And the umpires, I think, just waiting for the technical bench to give them the thumbs up. And the whistle goes, and to get us underway, it was a start from Alex Pendle. Comes wide now to Sam Taylor. Deflected though off the stick of the South African Hans Neertling. Should say goeiemorgen to all those in South Africa. It's in the morning over there. It's about midday, isn't it? Just about. Just gone midday. So Great Britain already in that final third and looking to attack. Great pass into the circle. Good defence though as well. Trying to create a little bit of space, and again good defence, but Anderson, the Irishman, not able to get the ball across the circle, but it will be a long corner for Great Britain. Ball will come back now to Rory Penrose. Penrose plays it again down the line to Sam Taylor. Into the circle it goes. South Africa not too positive getting it out, and in the end just over the side it goes. Calvin Davis, the man who suddenly decided, let's just get it out of here. Did take a touch though off Great Britain, so it was South Africa's ball. Great Britain coached again by John Bleeby. He's almost like Malaysia's his second home. He's been here so many times, and he was saying he absolutely loves this tournament. Great break forward this time coming from Alex Chihota. Chihota again is a player in Great Britain that has quite a lot of reputation. People talking about him as an exciting prospect for Great Britain. South Africa, it's always a competitive nation in anything. That's Carter, and it's given away inside the circle. Chance now. Good save. It's gone wide. That's a top save in the end. Well, really, Great Britain should have taken the lead. I think it was Pendle who managed to steal it away from Neil Rath. And then in the end, a superb save coming from the man in goal. And that is Diakala. Kamba Diakala doing really well. just forcing the ball wide. And that's not kept in play and goes harmlessly out of play. So South Africa will be aware they made that error, they got away with it, they can't afford to make any more. Comes again to Neil Rath. Good steal coming from Newbold. Chihota. Short pass from him is a good one. Forced away from goal was Tom Morehouse. Stolen for South Africa. Just hesitating, didn't manage to make the pass was Cameron LaForester. Chihota now. Looks to cut infield, and penalised that time was Josh Davies, one of the co-captains for South Africa. Comes wide for Great Britain again. Drummond gets the return pass. Drummond advances into the circle. It goes deflected away from goal that time. And that was, again, it was a good ball into the circle. Alex Pendle probably needed to let that one run. Instead, he took a touch. Pendle, who scored his first goal at under-16s, was against the Netherlands back in 2017. First international goal, I believe, for him. Comes again to Fawaz Khader. Khader gets the return pass again, but he's not got anywhere to go. Harry Stone doing a really good job closing him down. That looked to catch the foot. It's gone over the side. Will be Great Britain ball. And I don't think, to be honest, Neethling knew anything when he kicked it as it was pushed back onto the field of play. Thrown to the air that time by Sam Taylor. Brought down and play on quickly now for Ben Fox. Fox weaves away from the first challenge. Fox continues to go and will get another free hit. Just being warned there was Vue Umbata. Just trying to cut infield there. Was a good run from Williamson. That's really good defence that time from Ngubane. Ngubane played at the Junior World Cup, plays for University of Pretoria, Tuckies. Nice turn coming from Lewis Wiltshire. And again, good movement from Great Britain. They're throwing numbers forward, but good defence from South Africa, forcing them to play the ball back into their own half. Comes square now to Sam Taylor. Taylor looks to slide it through, but it was good defence once more from South Africa. Just probably a little bit ambitious with that pass out of defence that time, Mbata. But they've got possession, and they've stayed calm this time as the ball comes back to Calvin Davis. And just a ricochet off the stick of Nathan Ansell, and it gives possession to Great Britain, who get on really, really quickly. Lovely little touch, just preventing Fraser Hay from getting into the circle. Fraser Hay, who plays for Grange in Scotland, comes wide now, beat the first defender. Good work once more by James Vallely. That's a super pass infield, and now South Africa get the chance to mount their first attack. Marvin Simons. Simons gets the free hit. Marviano, as he's known. I think he's got a touch of the Brazilian about him. And there's a little bit of pushing and shoving there. Marvin Simons being held inside the circle. You can't see it on shot, but the umpires are going to need to keep an eye on that. Just with the back of the stick off the South African, so it will be Great Britain ball as we approach the halfway stage of this first quarter. Oh, and slipping in it, very nearly cornered. Vallely will collect, though, for Great Britain, fortuitously for him. And just coming back and just running straight into him was Mbata. And maybe a little bit lucky he didn't get a card, but I think it was just Vallely cut infield and he couldn't change his line that he was running. That's gone out of play over the baseline from Fred Newbold. Coach of South Africa is Guy Elliott. He was appointed in June 2022. He's the director of hockey at St Albans private school in South Africa, in Johannesburg, and school that my brothers-in-law went to. And I'm going to be a little bit personal here, but one of my brother-in-laws got married yesterday, so congratulations to Daniel and his new wife Ling, and welcome to the family. South Africa had possession there again. Good work by Simons. Managed to play the ball into the path of Ngubane. Just slipping again. The South Africans struggling with the wet surface, and it is very wet because we had a lot of rain earlier. You can see when the ball comes, just the splash of the feet. Good skills again being shown by Carter. Carter slips though. Chihota tries to steal it back for Great Britain, but Fada's done well. Oh, lovely turn from him. He's won the free hit too. And this is promising from South Africa. Just need to stay calm. Ansel goes wide onto the right-hand side. He'll get the return pass. He's making the forwards work, though, for Great Britain. Comes wide this time to Josh Davies. Good pass now on the baseline. Need to get it into the circle. Happy to go away into the shins of Chihota. Played away. And penalty corner awarded for Chihota, playing the ball away when the whistle had gone. So South Africa get the first penalty corner of the match. And this will be, again, a great moment if they could take the lead against the defending champions. 5.5 minutes left in the first quarter. Still a long, long way to go in this game. But this is a great opportunity for South Africa to throw down a marker and show that they mean business in this tournament. Just have to see how they convert this. Waiting at the top of the circle, Calvin Davis. Alongside him is Neil Rath. Davis, the taller of the two. And they are wearing the twos. We've got 2 and 22. Slight shift from the stoppers. Comes out. Davis flicks. Good save initially by the keeper. That is Yuvraj Bui doing his job in goal for Great Britain. Comes back again to Davis. Not much on for South Africa, so he had to go back to the defensive line, and they'll try and draw Great Britain out and create some space to get back in. Davis again. Drills it this time, but it's quarter foot edge of the circle. South Africa play on quickly. Long corner. And just got to take it directly opposite where it crossed the baseline. Comes out again to Neil Rath. Nice turn that time coming from Carter. Carter into the circle again. But the free hit is just outside, so it won't be a penalty corner. Played on quickly this time by Ngubane. He loses out. Thought he'd got a free hit, but it's Great Britain now bursting forward. Numbers forward for the red team. Desperately coming across. Davies sliding and just getting enough of his stick to take it over the sideline. Playing on quickly now is Rory Penrose. Well, no, I thought he was going to get on with it quickly, and then he just held off, I think because they were ringing the changes just behind him. Stick goes flying for South Africa. Ben Fox turns, creates some space, driving into the circle now. Really good run, laid back. And the goal is there. Beautiful run from Morehouse. Finished off by Pendle. And Great Britain have the lead. And so they've started well. They withstood what South Africa had to throw them. And Penrose ideally placed for the tap-in. There was very little the keeper could do. But it was a brilliant run by Tom Morehouse along the baseline. And Great Britain take the lead in the 12th minute. So South Africa are going to have to come from behind. Rory Penrose hails from Southampton, down on the south coast of Great Britain. And another slip for the South Africans. This time it's Ansel, recovered well, and he knocks the ball past Chihota. And trying to turn and being blocked there was Ngubane. And South Africa, of course, are playing in the Sultan Aslan Shah Cup, which will be taking place after this tournament. 4 of these players for South Africa will be joining the senior squad. Played on quickly again. It's a good pass. Into the circle comes South Africa. Good tackle coming in from Morehouse. Well, Morehouse creating at one end and defending at the other. That was brilliant the way he managed to dispossess there Cameron LaForester. Ngubane again goes back this time to Mbata. Good transfer of play by South Africa. 2.5 minutes left in the first quarter. Ansel. Calvin Davis feeds it forward again. Lovely little shimmy from Ngubane. Good steal that time coming from Breitenbach. And the free hit goes the way of South Africa. But just taking it from the wrong spot, so it'll come back to Ngubane. Davies into the circle, good pass by him. Chihota is there, deflected, good save again from Bowie. Yuvraj Bowie with a really sharp save. Would have seen that really late. He's the 2022 Hockey Writers Under-18 Player of the Year. And you just saw probably why he received that award. That was a very sharp save. Trying to turn that time was Kalinhani. Josh Davis. Turning away now is Nietling. Into the circle it goes. Was that a foul? No, says the umpire. Great Britain had it and then lost it. Harry Stone. And it's going to be a South African free hit. They need to get on with it quickly. We're into the final 40 seconds. Into the circle, but too far away from the lead that came from LaForester. Comes infield now to Wiltshire. Wiltshire goes back into the defensive line. Now it's Williamson. A South African player just getting in the wrong position there. That one's well read coming out of defence. Good work again by Calvin Davis and trying to keep that in play. Good burst forward. Really good run. And into the circle. And a shot. What a goal! Well, that is brilliant. Cameron LaForester gets South Africa back with a run from on halfway. He was being pursued. He managed to pull away. And that is a superb reverse stick finish from LaForester to pull South Africa level. You just had to stop and watch and then admire. A perfect response with just 1 minute left in this first quarter. South Africa on level terms. The coach, I think, had gone out on the pitch. I think he thought it was full time. And he's actually saying, well, what's the problem? I think the clock had actually gone down. It was certainly, yes, it has, because this is the clock now for the first quarter break. So there's confusion, and there is the hooter now. But it's certainly the clock had run down after the ball went in. There were probably just a couple of seconds left. And as you can see, they're going in for the first break. And it is Great Britain 1, South Africa 1. Welcome back to the Tamandaya Hockey Stadium, where Great Britain were out very, very quickly to get this second half underway. They will be very disappointed that they conceded so late in that quarter. Cameron LaForester, who was the captain at Parktown Boys High School, now attends the University of Pretoria with a wonderful finish and a really, really good run from inside his own half. So Great Britain, the defending champions, know they're in a game now. South Africa have shown what they're capable of and that they are not going to roll over. You wouldn't expect that ever. So how are things going to progress now in this second quarter? Just waiting for the bench to give us the okay. I believe there's about 3 seconds remaining of that quarter time break. Thumbs up from the umpires, the whistle goes, and Great Britain get us back underway. Comes wide to Valelli. Goes infield now to Fraser High. Played on quickly, Ellis Robson. Valelli. Square across the defensive line. A little bit of width on the left for Great Britain now. Trying to cut in. Good defensive play coming from Neertling. Neertling slipped though. Gave a little bit of an opportunity for Great Britain to get in around the back, and they've got a free hit now from the foul committed. Good work by Oliver Drummond. Drummond, who went to the Taunton School in the West Country. Across the face of goal it comes. Good save again by the keeper coming off his line. That was Diakala. But a penalty corner conceded by South Africa, the first for Great Britain. And they will have practiced these. And we were watching them in the warm-up. And I have to say that Valelli and Golden look to be in pretty good form. So this will be a real test now for Kamva Diakala, who went to Woodbridge College in the Eastern Province. And actually he grew up, he was playing as a sweeper, the goalkeeper, and liked to apparently score goals, and then got thrust in goal and has never looked back, and he's obviously representing his country now. So it looks to me that we've got at the first battery Jamie Golden, and it's gone to him. Golden flicks, what a save! Diakala with an outstanding save. Just came about a metre off his line and then parried it over the bar. South Africa, though, a little bit of sleepers. Great Britain got on with it quickly, and as they came into the circle, Newbold penalised in the end, and South Africa breathed a sigh of relief. But Diakala with a wonderful save. So his team can thank him that they're still on level terms. What a pass again. So close to getting on the end of that was Marvin Simons. Simons, who's at the University of Johannesburg at the moment, and he was saying that they were a very, very strong hockey side and going through a bit of a rebuilding process at the moment, and he's pleased to be there and trying to help them rebuild the program and become a force to be reckoned with, and that's admirable. A lot of players like to go to where the success is straight away. Stolen brilliantly by Golden. Golden still has the ball going into the circle. Stumbled, tried to play it behind his back. Got it there. Again, a good save by Diakala as it was played in across the face of his goal. Brilliant pass coming in from Harry Stone. Don't know quite how Stone got to that, but he did. First time from Simons, but he just didn't get it far enough ahead of the defender. And good work stepping out by Sam Taylor. Stolen back by Neil Rath. Will be, though, a Great Britain free hit just inside South Africa's half. Now this game again seems to have come to life after that equaliser. I think it maybe was a little bit of a kick up the pants for Great Britain, who I don't want to say thought that this might be a cakewalk, but because I don't think any of the coaches know what to expect from South Africa. Lovely turn coming from Fox. Fox, though, look at the 3 defenders ahead of him. Has to go back, and it comes to Morehouse. Morehouse plays it back to Taylor. Taylor really pinged that pass to Williamson. Good pass again, lovely pass into the circle. Was that off the foot or off the stick? Still alive across the face of goal, and it's gone in. Well, the goal I think will be credited to Fraser High, because I think it came off the defender, but it was initially good work by Drummond. So Great Britain take the lead back. As it looked to me, it was a deflection off the defender, but we'll hear in a minute who has been credited with the goal. But certainly it was good work by Drummond initially inside the circle. And it looked as if it may have come off the stick of the South African player, ricocheted up in the air, and then Fraser High just managed to get it past Diakala, and it ended up in the goal. So South Africa have to again come from behind. Stolen well by Morehouse. Morehouse has been really lively in this opening 20 minutes. Drummond goes back into the defence again. A diagonal pass is a really good one. Well, yeah, you may have just heard that Fraser High has been credited with that goal. So the Scotsman gets a goal to give Great Britain the lead, and they now have a penalty corner and an opportunity to stretch that lead. So again, we saw a great save from Diakala before. Can he keep his team in this match with another good save? Drummond comes on with the instructions from the bench. And the team in a huddle. And making his way to the baseline to inject is Sam Taylor. And Penrose, it looks to me, is at the first battery. And I think it's Morehouse at the second. Goes to Penrose. And it will be another penalty corner. Went into the legs of the first runner. So same positions. Goes to Penrose again. This time he flicks low and he beats Diakala. And Great Britain have a third. Postman stepping out, Diakala just to his right. Couldn't get down quick enough. And Rory Penrose, who set up the first, well, scored the first goal actually, was set up by Morehouse, gets a second. The first man to get multiple goals here at the Sultan of Johor Cup in 2022. So 2 goals within 2 minutes for Great Britain puts them in a really strong position. And this will now be a real test for South Africa mentally. They've just got to dig deep and hang in there. And a heavy touch, but managed to get away with that. Appealing is Ben Fox, but no whistle from the umpires, and just too narrow. It's a good run up the sideline from Hans Neertling, but it was just too narrow and he was not able to get on the end of that one. Taylor now goes to the air, and Chihota very nearly caught, and he's saying there was the danger, but he was running behind the defender. Carter, though, needs to be very careful swinging his stick the way he did, because he could do people a little bit of damage. Ngubane with a good run. And South Africa into the circle, driving towards the goal. Lost possessions, picked up by Wiltshire. One back again, Ngubane, and a shot on the reverse and went a long way over the goal. Erdal Demir under the bar now for Great Britain, who've decided to rotate their goalkeepers quarter by quarter. A lot of teams changing them half by half. So brought down well from the sky. Comes wide now to Ryan Mann. Just cutting back infield is Breitenbach. And just Not getting that under control first time is Calvin Davis, but he does in the end. Comes to Davis again. This trap from him. Carter goes up the side and was lost momentarily, and surely that was use of the body from Main, but he got away with it. I just thought he moved his body completely across the Great Britain player, meaning that there was no chance of him being able to make a tackle. Morehouse comes wide to Vallely, and not kept in play that time by Jamie Golden. South Africa again look to throw it high. And cutting infield and just being caught there by Williamson. May well be a card. It is going to be a card for Williamson. I think that clearly shows the fear that Cameron LaForester has really put into the Great Britain defence. Green card, 2 minutes on the side for the Great Britain defender. And LaForester trying to get the ball then, gets the free hit. Played on quickly by Neertling. Probably a little bit too quickly in the communication breakdown. South Africa, I think, wanting to try and catch Great Britain on the back foot when they can, but sometimes just waiting just that little bit longer and making sure everything's right. If you're clinical enough. Vallely now. Vallely just skipped past Schoeman as if he wasn't there. And a mistrap in the forward line from Ryan Mann. Mann, though, will look to close down. The ball comes wide now to Drummond. Drummond goes infield. Good little mazy run by Lewis Wiltshire. Lewis Wiltshire, who I believe his nickname is Nemo. I can only presume that is because he either keeps getting lost himself or he keeps losing things, but we'll try and find out before the end of the tournament. Great pass and great take at the forward line coming that time from Cody Schoeman. And that's a good tackle coming in from Calvin Davis, but the aerial pass just had a little bit too much on it as we have 5.5 minutes remaining in this second quarter. It's been a good one for Great Britain. 2 goals in 2 minutes. Sees them back with a 2-goal cushion now and back with the lead. Vallely, good run into space to receive the pass coming from Williamson. Chihota got in there, lovely break through the defence coming that time from Robson. South Africa, though, eventually steal it back. And a clumsy challenge coming back from Fraser High. Just catching the heels that time of Ngubane. Good lead again, that time coming from Mtalane. Aya Mtalane. Mtalane is there again. He's been held back by the defender. It'll be a South Africa free hit. Great Britain, though, have numbers back. Carter loses out. Chance to break forward now for Jamie Golden. It's 1-on-4. Golden gets a little nudge, but still keeps going. Ansell. Golden takes a tumble. South Africa come up with the ball, and they get the chance to go on the counter-attack. Ball again thrown in the air into space. Went in behind Ellis Robson, but Robson recovered well. Got there before Simons could. Short pass now to Harry Stone. Stone changes direction, goes back where the ball came from. Plays it into the defensive line. It'll come wide now to Ben Fox. That's another good pass out of defence. It was almost a really good chance for Drummond to just carry it and continue the way his body was moving, but Showed the discipline to keep possession. Robson again goes back into the defensive line. Williamson. And that time it was a heavy touch, and so it's stolen away this time by Ngubani. Ngubani left it behind, and it was played square by Josh Davies, and the ricochet was a good one for Great Britain. Just reaching out, breaking up that attack, but South Africa back with the ball. Good pass wide onto the left-hand side. Tried to play it first time after he trapped it, actually. It was LaForester. It's going to be his ball from the side. Takes it quickly, drives towards the circle. Goes back to Ngubane. Asks a lot of his captain, but he's done brilliantly. Good deflection, though, by Great Britain to get that out of defence. I think that came off the stick there of Penrose. South Africa, though, have the free hit. Ansel comes wide again to Carter. And a mistrap. Sees possession turned over by Damien Knott. Good play, dropping the ball back for Golden. That was superb coming from Newbold. Newbold gets the ball from Golden and wins a penalty corner. I think he's a little frustrated, wanted to get inside the circle and have a shot himself. But a fourth penalty corner for Great Britain. And really good play coming from Fred Newbold, the man who's currently studying a Masters in Biological Sciences at Oxford University. He's vice-captain of the hockey team at the Oxford University as well. So fourth penalty corner for Great Britain. Penrose, not surprisingly, lining up. Alongside him, Jamie Golden. And injecting this time is Tom Morehouse. And Golden just moving alongside Penrose. Penrose, well, it goes to Golden now. Golden flicks, Diakala saves, well positioned. Didn't quite go, I think, the way Great Britain wanted it, but certainly they got the shot away. And the South African keeper in a good position. Great deflection into the circle. Good defence again, although played into his own man. It was good initially from Calvin Davis, but unfortunately he hit his own man, and it will be a penalty corner to Great Britain. Calvin Davies, who went to Guernsey College in KwaZulu-Natal. So coming on with the instructions now is Connor Williamson for Great Britain. And making his way to the baseline again will be Morehouse. Golden again to the right. Penrose at the first battery. And stopping is Wiltshire. Goes to Penrose again. He flicks this time. Diakala gets a pad on it, but he can't keep it out. And so Great Britain have a fourth. Penrose has a third. He has the first hat-trick of the tournament in 2022. And he starts off in a perfect fashion in this opening game. So Rory Penrose will be extremely happy with that. Still a long way to go, though, in the tournament. I'm sure that Fareham Hockey Club and Winchester Hockey Club will be celebrating that milestone by Rory Penrose. Lovely turn coming from Ngubani, as they were the two clubs that Rory Penrose started at. Great pick up that time from Ben Fox. And again, just defenders trailing behind Tom Morehouse as he goes on a run into the midfield. Laid the ball back. Good defence coming across that time from Fawaz Carter. And too much space there really at the edge of the circle. Lovely turn. And looking to dink that onto the foot and successfully doing that. Max Anderson doing well, finding the foot of Nathan Ansell. And it's penalty corner number 6 for Great Britain. So they were slow to get going, but they finally found their mojo. And I just wonder whether they'll go with Penrose again, because you would think at half-time, if they can go in with a 5-1 lead, it is pretty much game over. Sam Taylor makes his way to the baseline to inject once more. This time lining up at the first battery is Tom Morehouse. Penrose, I think, is at the second battery. Comes to him. It's a mistrap, though. Comes to him now. Reverse stick shot. Diakala, good save again. Had to be brave there because there were two Great Britain players right in front of them, and one had his stick going, and I think, in fact, one of the Great Britain players has just been caught in the head, probably by Diakala's stick as he made the save. And I believe that is actually time. The hooter hasn't sounded, but the clock on the scoreboard is already counting down the half-time break. So the siren, you would think, there it goes. So that is the end of the first half, and Great Britain players jog off, and they will be very happy with that performance. Well, they took the lead in the 12th minute through Rory Penrose after good work by Tom Morehouse. Cameron LaForester pulled a goal back, though, in the end of that first quarter. Wonderful individual goal by him, but then it was all Great Britain in the second quarter. Fraser High getting the second goal to give them back the lead, and then Rory Penrose converting two penalty corners means that Great Britain head into half-time with a scoreline that reads Great Britain 4, South Africa 1. Welcome back to the Tamandaya Hockey Stadium as the umpires make their way out for the second half. And they will be looking forward to, I'm sure, the second half as well. Great Britain in a really strong position. South Africa are going to have to just test where they feel they're at in this second half. They're going to have a hard job coming back from 4-1 down in this, their first ever game at the Sultan of Johor Cup against the defending champions. But they've just got to imagine that it's 0-0 and start again and just see what they can do coming back. But Great Britain have really looked like they are here to defend their title. And Penrose to get a hat-trick in the first half of the opening game, well, that's the perfect start for any player in any tournament. So the South African players making their way out. Just wondering whether they will change their goalkeeper or whether they'll keep them the same, and I think it looks like they are going to keep it the same. Diakala, who's had a really good first half, is going to remain under the bar for South Africa. They've had their moments, but just occasionally the passes have just not gone where they've been intended. And I think the other thing they've just got to watch is trying to match Great Britain physically. Certainly, hockey's become an extremely physical game these days. And if you can't match teams physically, you may struggle. And Australia will be physical in this tournament. India will be as well. So it will be South Africa to get us underway. Neutling is over the ball. Currently at Stellenbosch University. Hans Neutling plays for the Garden Route Gazelles in the Premier Hockey League in South Africa, which is one of my favourite names, I've got to say. Beautiful part of the world. So can South Africa come back in this game? Or will Great Britain go on and continue their scoring? Lovely break infield by Unkabani. Picked up by Ellis Robson. And there, well, no, it is Jamie Golden. I thought for a second Golden had started making a run into the circle that he wasn't going to be able to double back and get that. Golden got the free hit, played on, into the circle he goes. Good defence coming back from South Africa. And they managed to get it out of the circle, but again, Great Britain pressing high and trying to force a mistake around that circle that they can then pounce on. Once again, I'd like to just acknowledge our sponsors. Ong and Ong, excelling in infrastructure, education, commercial and high-density living. And, of course, Griffin, making an impact since 1983. Strong challenge coming in. South Africa come up with the ball. Slight slip there, unfortunately, for Kaylin Honey. So Rory Penrose will get the ball back again. Seems to be following him all night. Good effort to intercept that from Ross Breitenbach. And that ricocheted up surely off the Great Britain stick. Yes, free hit to South Africa, kicked away by Jamie Golden. Not sure it was deliberate. Ngubani goes back again into the defensive line to Ansel. Comes wide this time to Neil Rath. Vallely looking to pull away from Josh Davies. Vallely's done really well down that right-hand side. Played the ball infield. And just forgetting to take the ball as he was doing the shimmy was Fred Newbold. Rath goes back again into the defensive line. Ansel plays it wide. He'll get the ball back. Carry it to the 23. Goes square again. Oh dear, just took his eye off the ball. And then Ngubane, a little mistake from him, sees possession now back with Great Britain. A little bit of width for Great Britain, but closed down. That was good defence again by South Africa. Was cutting off that avenue. And doing the work was Ross Breitenbach. Just touched over the side from Nietling. There's plenty of shouting going on inside the circle. And a long corner given. The ball going off the stick of Neil Rath. Ellis Robson now with the long corner for Great Britain. Just takes a touch, takes it back, goes to Penrose. That's cut out well. And that was good, intelligent play, actually, coming from LaForester, just playing it into the shins of the Great Britain player so that they got a free hit and they get the chance to regroup. He was the only man forward. There was really nothing on for him. So smart play. And again, we see the overhead that has just gone way, way too far. And that's something that is just not working. So I would put that one in your pocket. A good ball forward again. Wiltshire now. Good tackle coming in. It'll come to Wiltshire. Wiltshire slips edge of the circle. And South Africa get the free out. So a lot of the players slipping tonight in this second game. And that's just gone straight out of play. So again, coughing up possession cheaply. Those are the little things that South Africa need to improve on. Because they're battling to win possession back and then just making mistakes like that are costly. Good work along the baseline. Good defence again from South Africa. It was a really good run from Max Anderson. Max Anderson, who's a former pupil of Cookstown High School in Belfast, also plays for the Cookstown Hockey Club there. And I know that they're extremely proud of him being their sole representative here in Malaysia. Sole representative for Great Britain from Northern Ireland. That's cut out well. Josh Davies doubles back, comes across now to Ansel. Ansel finds his captain, Sichle Ngubane. Into the circle, looking for the foot. It was a good idea from Hani. Didn't come off. Chihota now finds the foot, plays on quickly. Chihota evades everyone, even his own players. Pushes the pass into the path of Stone, but it was just too far ahead of him. Fawaz Carter goes square again. Calvin Davis back into Neil Rath. Fada. And just too narrow down the side that time. Fawaz Carter actually started as a goalkeeper, which may be hard to believe when he was age 9. His friends asked him to come and play hockey with them and just shoved him in goal. Lifted into the circle, so that will be a free hit to South Africa. And then he was very lucky that he was spotted by the Alistair Fredericks Hockey Trust Fund, and they enabled him to go to Bewley College. And since then, he's never looked back. He said it was a great opportunity, and he was going to make it count. Fired forward again by Calvin Davis, but South Africa hemmed in on that far side. It was good skills. Looked as if they were just going to get round the back there with Mbata, but he was penalised. So now Great Britain get the ball back. Sam Taylor will come wide now to Drummond. Drummond cuts infield. Short pass, and doing really well was Lewis Wiltshire, because he was under immense pressure then and just showed really great hands. Ben Fox now makes Sam Taylor scurry just a little bit. And a good block again. Cameron LaForester, good run coming through the middle from Hani. LaForester, though, didn't manage to find him. Picked up by Lewis Wiltshire, goes square. Fox now. Connor Williamson. And just too much space really in that pocket. Allowed to turn and get the pass away. But good pressure coming in the end from South Africa and from Carter. Mistrap at the back for Great Britain. South Africa looked to pounce through LaForester, but good work being done by Williamson to calm things down at the back. Williamson again to Taylor. Fox was again under pressure. Looking to cut infield here is Golden. And Great Britain just edging their way forward at the moment. Oh, that was a lovely little shimmy from Ben Fox. Fox into the circle. The ball's going to break Carney. Brave challenge coming in. Still going to break for Great Britain. Good defence again. LaForester forced wide and put under a lot of pressure by Oliver Drummond, but illegal pressure. So South Africa can cope. The captain, Ngubane, just asking the umpire why he didn't get a free hit earlier when there was a wild challenge. Well, he felt it was a wild challenge came in as he was trying to block the attack. Clearly the umpire felt it was fair. So Great Britain again pick up possession deep inside their own half. Wiltshire now feeds it down to Chihota. Chihota looking to cut infield, still has possession. Going to be closed down again. He's looking for some support. It comes in the end through Drummond. Drummond, nice pass out to the right-hand side where Chihota just came from. Ball laid back. Lovely little shimmy again, that time coming from Ben Fox. Ben Fox certainly showing that he's got a lovely little sway of the hips to take him past a player. Drummond again. Penrose now squares it for Drummond, continues his run, gets the return pass from Drummond. Wiltshire, who must have got through a fair amount of work in this game because he seems to be everywhere. Penrose again. As we approach the final 3.5 minutes of this third quarter. South Africa not conceded as yet and not conceded a penalty corner. Have I spoken too soon? As here come Great Britain again. Lovely little turn, trying to get inside the circle, managed to, but a really good tackle. See South Africa come up with the ball again. Simons now looking to dribble it out of defence. Keeps it in play just. Then tried to lift it past the man in front of him. Did well to win a free hit for South Africa. And not trapped that time by Schoeman. Just caught him. Great Britain have possession back once more, and South Africa have to defend again. Wiltshire, two players around him, gets the pass away. Then makes himself available as well. Penrose will collect now for Great Britain. He's got Vallely short, but he decides to go high and long. Well, that's where it gets confusing. Two players running into the space where what seemed a fairly aimless aerial pass was thrown, and the defence gets penalised. And there'll be many that will question that. It is a rule that many believe needs to be looked at quite seriously. Personally, I would like to limit the amount of use we see for the aerial pass. It is a game that should be played on the deck, and that's where it looks its best. Schoeman under immense pressure from Fraser High. Fraser High is a tall man, 6'1", playing in the forward line. And again, we see South Africa just turn over possession with just over a minute and a half left in this third quarter. But it'll do them the world of good if they can hang on and not concede in this quarter. Great Britain this time make the mistake. Villali throwing it straight out of play. This is a learning experience for South Africa. Oh, good play that time coming from Calvin Davis. But again, his pass forward, finding nobody, and his teammates turning and actually looking at him, and then him trying to say, well, what do you want? Well, he just needs to find his teammates, because the frustration's beginning to build in him and at those around him. It's just a confidence thing, I'm sure. And there's a bump in the back from Newbold, and here comes South Africa again. Simons trying to find a way through. He's got past two defenders. Can he keep it in play? No. But again, the positive is South Africa still looking to attack when the opportunity arises. In the final 30 seconds of this third quarter. Nice turn from Fox. A little bit of space now for Newbold. Goes square. Pressure applied. Villali. And that will be the end of the quarter. So no goals for either side in that quarter, and that's good for South Africa. Great Britain may have just taken their foot off the gas, but the score at the end of the third quarter is the same as it was at halftime. Great Britain 4, South Africa 1. John Bleeby just talking to his players. All the players back out on the pitch. I must apologise because I think I said that Penrose has a hat-trick. It's actually Pendle who got the first goal. Rory Penrose has 2. So Alex Pendle getting the first goal. I got a bit carried away there. First day, very excited to be back after 3 years. So Pendle 1, Penrose 2. And Fraser High with the 4th goal for Great Britain. And South Africa looking to try and find a second. As we said in the game between Japan and Australia, as here comes South Africa. Really good run down the flank coming that time from Fawaz Carter. Carter still has possession, plays it into the circle. That'll be a long corner. Goal difference could make a major difference, so South Africa would want to try and get a few goals if they can. And that is not so good. A miscontrol there from Carter. After all the good work he did, the ball just bobbling over his stick and out of play. But I think that last 15 minutes, South Africa have shown that they can be competitive. Comes wide now to Williamson. And helped out there was Robson, helping out Taylor. Mthalane trying to steal it away from Williamson. Williamson doing well under pressure. Valeli has given the ball away. South Africa, though, now just dropped off the pass there. Breitenbach looking for the return pass. Was he bumped? He certainly took a tumble as he collided with Newbold. Newbold now has the ball, and Breitenbach, I think, thought about doing something and just blocking him in return, but thought better of it. Williamson again. Valeli. Again, that's where Valeli didn't get that under control and then runs towards the defender who's there. And the defender's meant to just let him bring it under control, even though he mistrapped it. And, yeah, it's a rule that needs looking at. Valeli. Great Britain just strolling now in this final quarter. No real urgency. Comes to Taylor. Flick of the wrist, sees it come out wide to Oliver Drummond. And I'm sure that John Bleeby, who's been here before, he's won the tournament before, and he's just saying, we've got this match won, just conserve your energy because we've got to play again tomorrow. And tomorrow they're in the early time slot against Japan, if my memory serves me right. So it is a little bit hotter then. Chihota dispossessed. Humidity can be the killer in those games. And just checking there, it is Japan versus Great Britain first up tomorrow. Ben Fox goes back to Sam Taylor again. And a little mistrap that time. Simons collects, but has to beat two players, and he does that. That was good play by Marvin Samuels. Pass didn't quite have the pace he wanted on it, but LaForester has won a free hit, edge of the circle. So now South Africa just checking where the free hit is. Of course, must go the 5 meters. And a penalty corner. So the Great Britain players coming into the 5 meters. So South Africa just their second penalty corner of the match. And coming out with the instructions from the coaching staff is Neil Rath. Can they pull a goal back in this final quarter? There's still plenty of time left. And Gubani makes his way to the baseline. And it looks as if, to me, it's Nietling at the first battery and Neil Rath at the second. It goes to Rath, and it's a sharp, was it a sharp save? No, just wide. And we've got a player gone down. That was Josh Davies. And he was down straight away. Not quite sure what happened because I followed the path of the ball. But Josh Davies back up on his feet now. And so that is good news for South Africa. He's not seriously hurt. Great Britain get on with things as we approach the final 10 minutes of this match. And again, Great Britain having to take it back. Didn't take it from where the offence occurred, I think, or it just went over the side. And he took it from just inside the sideline. Deflected over the side that time by Ungabane. Vallely. And just deflected over the baseline. Long corner, Great Britain. Just wonder whether they're deciding to just lift the tempo for the last 10 minutes. Comes back to Sam Taylor. Rory Penrose. And a deflection. Well, you could see what the idea was coming from Fraser High. Rath put under pressure. All the way through, almost. Simons was there. That's a good block coming from South Africa. Simons will get the ball. Got past one defender. Good covering defence, though, from Fox. It was Ryan Mann who intercepted for South Africa. And just off the South African stick it goes. The stick of Neethling. Wiltshire. Chihota just waited for that one. Rath anticipated it well. And coming back and helping out is Drummond. Nearly caught again was Fox, but he heard the pounding feet approaching him and managed to just get out of the way. Great Britain moving the ball well. Lovely pass forward for Drummond. Tried to play it infield, but Morehouse, not Morehouse, my apologies, I'm getting my sevens mixed up. Neethling stole it back. Now it's Great Britain into the circle. Great save, Diakala. And now it comes out to Neethling. Well, South Africa owe their goalkeeper a fair bit today. He's made some really top saves. Student at Nelson Mandela University, Diagala. Rath, literally just running. There's now Morehouse, a couple of minutes on the side, going down and I think using his legs to stop the ball. Simons, and appeals for a penalty corner from South Africa. Nothing doing from the umpire. So it is Great Britain's ball out of defence as we're halfway through the final quarter. I think victory is definitely theirs. Surging run coming from Breitenbach. And just catching the foot, unfortunately, of Le Forester. And a great lead, determined defence. Well, the question, Great Britain upset about that. The defender sliding in, and I think the question was, did he create danger? He certainly touched the attacker. So if that's the case, it should have been a yellow card and the free hit go the other way. But obviously the umpire felt otherwise, that there wasn't any danger. But Great Britain bench were up in arms, feeling that there should have been some sort of sanction against the South African defender. Again, players coming back, trying to tackle on the run defensively for South Africa, but puts you under pressure. Fox now weaving towards the corner. We'll get a free in from the side. Good defence again from South Africa. And the crowd are getting a little bit restless. Just heard someone shout over to my right-hand side, "We want goals." And I think they feel that Great Britain have taken their foot off the pedal. when they should be scoring goals. But I'm sure that they've made the decision to conserve energy for tomorrow's early match, because they've got to be first up tomorrow. That was good play again coming from Sam Taylor. Into the circle it goes, this time from Great Britain, but again it's good defence from South Africa. And South Africa are going to change their goalkeepers. So Rhys Govender is going to come on. Govender, who went to King Edward VII School in Johannesburg. He actually goes back and coaches there now to try and help the young players, which is great to see. Believes in passing it on, he said. And that's just again too far forward. And there was no chance of Davies getting on the end of that one. So from the side, it's Penrose, the man with 2 goals. Taylor goes square to Drummond. Drummond plays it forward. That's a great pass as well into the path of Anderson. Anderson trying to weave his way along the baseline. Gets a free hit for Great Britain. Jehota. And that's lifted up in the air. And so it will be South Africa ball with 4 minutes remaining. After an exciting and fairly fast-paced opening 30 minutes. It slowed quite dramatically, this match. The rain continues to tumble, and the players too have continued to slip and slide. At Great Britain, since conceding that first goal, a brilliant finish by Le Forester, you just haven't really seen them under immense pressure since then. Again, it's a good pass to pick out the run of Max Anderson. He's dispossessed though, good tackle. I think that was Ansell made that tackle. But over the side it goes, and it will be Great Britain again. Sam Taylor comes across, takes a touch. I get the feeling Penrose was looking to get off, but maybe not. Maybe just a reshuffle of the lines for Great Britain. Le Forester pushing forward again. It's a really good trap coming in the forward line. Stolen away though. There's a really good trap coming from Alex Pendle. And again, South Africa just on their heels a little bit there. And Great Britain changing their goalkeeper as well. Yuvraj Bui making way for Erdal Demir. Erdal Demir, who started his hockey at Southgate Hockey Club at the age of 11. He's actually of Turkish, Kurdish descent. Just wonder if he's the first player of those origins to ever play for Great Britain. Maybe someone can let us know. If he is, congratulations. Carter loses out, but not fairly according to the umpire. Stone penalised. So Fawaz Carter tries to go to the air again. Not brought under control and eventually stolen by South Africa. Can they get it inside the circle? They can, but they run out of space inside there. Kaelan Hani trying to just find a way in around the defence. Now the crowd beginning to fill up here in the stadium, preparing for the Malaysia game against India. Again, South Africa having to defend inside their circle. They do a good job of it. We're approaching the final minute. They're on one last attack, or will there be time for one more? Good pass infield. Honey being forced across the pitch, looking to try and get it forward. Maybe needed to hold on to that just a little bit longer. Played it into the path of Ryan Mann, but Mann has won a free hit for South Africa, edge of the circle. Mann goes in, drills it towards goal. Turn. The shot didn't manage to come from Mbata. Great Britain hemmed in. Lovely spin. Got his feet out of the way well, Mann. Mann now picks it up, goes towards the circle. And was that a foot? Oh, long corner. So Honey and Mann combining well for South Africa, showing promising signs going forward from today. They need to get on with the corner, and then they mess up actually at the top. Take a touch, and they're going to run out of time. The ball boy, or I think it's one of the coaching staff, not that interested. Now we got 2 balls on the pitch. Meanwhile, we've lost about 20 seconds. And I'm pleased to say the clock has finally stopped, because that was a bit of a comedy of errors. Driving towards the circle, penalty corner awarded to South Africa. Good work being done by Breitenbach. And so they now have their 3rd penalty corner. This will definitely be the last play of the match. There are 9 seconds remaining. And the big question is, can South Africa pull a goal back? It could be important later in the tournament. You just don't know. So they really need to do their best to try and convert this. Umtalane again goes down to the baseline. Lining up at the first battery is Hans Neertling. And at the second, Calvin Davis. Now, Calvin Davis, if they choose him, I hope he fires it home, because he's been hard on himself with a few passes tonight, and it'll just lift his spirits if he can. And they do go to Davis. It's a missed trap, though, top of the circle. They need to get it in there quickly. They do. As the shot goes in, it ricochets wide. The hooter is gone. It was a free out to Great Britain, and that is the end of the game. And it is Great Britain who are victorious. Goals from Alex Pendle and Penrose as well, who I gave 2-2 originally, and I apologise for that. Rory Penrose with 2 penalty corners, and Fraser High with another. And it is Great Britain that have defeated South Africa by a scoreline that reads Great Britain 4, South Africa 1.